League action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, head up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action. aucklandleague.co.nz.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Mount Smart number 2 Junior Grand Finals Day, brought to you by the ARL Live Stream TV crew. Our live stream partners are Ctas for today, and in the background you can hear the ground announcements as they're getting through the housekeeping part of the day down here, and there's a lot of activity happening in regards to match managers taking the field, but they're all getting ready. Good crowd starting to fire up, bit of noise in the background, so the atmosphere is starting to build. And much of that excitement will also be the imminent arrival of Corey Rosser, our caller for the day. Teams have just finished warming up over the far side there. Manurewa and Glenora are our first match today. And a lot of interest in this game. I'm not sure if we're picking the audio up from the ground announcer. Oh, the cameraman says a little as he shakes his hands and looks at me with a strange eyebrow. But beautiful day for rugby league down here. If you are in and around the city, come and join us today. CAF is open. A few seats left over there to be filled up. $8 for adults, $2 for kids under 16. Come and join us. And some of the kids that have made it here today, both teams were carrying more than their bench would allow, so hearts go out to a number of couple of the young players that are probably just being informed now that they won't be taking the field. However, they've certainly have contributed to the team's efforts in getting to the grand finals today, and you can certainly hear the boys starting to fire up over the far side, and the team lists are up. And at that point, when the team lists come up, is the time to introduce Corey Rosser, as he now joins the commentary team. And Corey, what a beautiful day it is for rugby league down here as the team names are up on the board, mate.
Yep, certainly looking very nice down here at Mount Smart number 2 today. Field looking in really good nick. Of course, it got a fair workout yesterday with a whole lot of grand finals. I understand half of them sort of went to extra time yesterday, so it was a big old day here at Mount Smart Stadium at number 2. And another big one in store today, starting today with this clash between Manurewa and Glenora. So the team lists up on their screen there. Regal will be led out onto the field by Salesi Foketi. And for Glenora, Josiah Takarai Nielsen.
Yeah, I'm told that he's going to work all day today, the captain of the Glenora team. Big raps on that young fella, and also being told the centres are fairly strong for the Manurewa team. So I think there's some good footballers all around at this class, as we see the teams running out just underneath the team lists. And here they come, ladies and gentlemen, and what a big day it is for these guys. Getting to play a grand final at Mount Smart number 2 as the crowd starts to fire up. Here we go, first game of the day, and we've got 4 matches today, back-to-back. And I think, as I was saying, just as the lead-in with Corey, is that, for the fact that these kids are here at the grand final is a massive achievement, and some kids don't ever make it to a grand final, mate. Ever.
Me included.
Yeah, all right.
I'm here commentating, so I'm sure Mum's proud.
Yep, and a big shout out to Corey's mum too. What a lovely lady she is, and all that trials and tribulations she went through bringing that child up.
Glowing endorsement. So our match officials today, the middle referee is Garth Mitchell. He's assisted on the sidelines by Lau Pauvalu and Calvin Rambo. So those are the match officials today. Big shout out to the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association, as always, bringing us our match officials, helping us make these grand finals happen, and it's been great to work with them throughout the year as well. We've obviously been streaming SAS Foxmora Premiership footy all year as well. Great to see a range of match officials, different ages, and both men and women involved. So great work from the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association. If you do want to check them out, arlrefs.co.nz, or take a look on the Facebook page.
Yeah, mate, loving it. Fire up. That's the call for the Rewa boys. How happy are they to be here today, ladies and gentlemen, at the grand final for the Junior Rugby League.
So here it is, the Under-14 Open Grand Final, the championship grade to open the action here today. As Troy mentioned earlier, 4 games back to back to back. And there's probably another back in there as well.
Well, there's a few backs out there on both teams today, Corey, and just on that, as we start to back in, Pacifica TV would like to welcome them in as well as we beam alive around the South Pacific Islands, also around the world. Here we go, a Rugby League live action brought to you by RL TV, live stream partners Ctas. Referees getting ready to clock on, as are the match managers, and we wait for the horn. Welcome aboard, everybody. First grand final for today.
So into it we go, and it will be Rewa with first use of the ball. Nice little crowd already gathering in here today. We can see some banners in the background for the Maris Saints and Papatoi Panthers, who will take the field later today. See a good carry forward there from Lemeki, getting straight into it. And they're already up around halfway, so this is a powerful opening set here from this Manurewa side. And Moranga now straightens.
Yeah, Oranga's got the best boots I've seen for today. Aren't they nice and shiny?
To the line they go now, Rewa, and it's back through the middle of the park. Well, early suggestions that this Manurewa side are going to play very much a power-based game. They certainly do look like they've got the size advantage over this Glenora outfit as the ball goes loose there, though, and Glenora will recover, although it may be knocked on there. In the end, maybe Ta'avali has put the ball down, so they'll pack down a scrum. This will be a Rewa feed. So for Keti to feed the scrum. A little chink at the line there from Sia. Taking the ground about 25 metres out from the line.
Glenora's defence line just holding off a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. They're making plenty of metres pre-contact, aren't they? And plenty after contact that time as well. Bumping carry forward from Lemeki. Looking for first points of the game now, Manurewa. Rolling down towards the line, and that'll be the opener. JD Falau Moiloa opens the scoring for Manurewa, and too easy in the end. Just tucked the ball under the wing and ran it in. Let's take a look now on the Auckland Rugby League live replay.
I think you called it right too, Corey. A lot of power play here, just straight down, one off the ruck. Hits the line. Went straight back in, right on the middle of it all, and carried a couple of through. Puts the ball down. Thanks very much for coming. And what a way to start your Sunday morning, mate.
Yeah, dream start there for Manurewa. Obviously came off the back of that error from Glenora as the ball came loose, and unfortunate knock-on in the end for the Bears, but Manurewa were good enough to take full advantage. And now Leilua Tamaliau about to attempt the conversion from just to the right of the uprights, 20 out from the line.
you can hear in the background. Ground announcements looking for Gary, and Gary's gone MIA.
Where are you, Gary? Shout out to Gary Whittle as well, the Auckland Rugby League president, our ground announcer. Puts in some big hours on these grand final days.
He jammed that in, he has.
Just sort of kisses the upright, and over it goes. So it is Manurewa who lead 6 points to 0 over the Glenora Bears. 4 minutes gone here at Mount Smart Stadium, number 2.
Yeah, and I think yet for Glenora to touch the ball other than trying to force the knockdown there, which caused a knock on, and Manurewa fed the scrum and scored from that. So Glenora set for the kickoff, and once again welcome into South Pacifica TV as we've been live around the South Pacific Islands. Great to have you on board for today's action. Great bumping
look
run.
At that carry. Gets for it a 1 and then goes another 10 metres or so post contact. One thing Glenora really need to address early on here, Troy, and you touched on it, their line speed just lacking a little bit so far, and with the size of this Manurewa pack, they just can't afford to be giving up cheap metres and letting those big forwards wind up. A little bit better that time. Up and in the face. Comes out to this right edge now, and Foketi goes to the line and puts his back rower into a nice little gap here. It's the try scorer from earlier, Falau Moiloa. Lamb is the dummy half. He will clear the ruck, go back to his captain Foketi, and he will straighten via Lemeki, who's had a really good start to the game. Some big carries for the number 8. Lamb will clear the ruck. Left edge they go. It's half-to-half stuff here. They got the numbers here. Manurewa, they should score. Good scramble defence, though, from Glenora. They had the overlap there, did Manurewa, but Glenora did really well in the end to recover, and now they get their first use of the ball. 5.5 minutes into the game, so it's been a tough start for Glenora. Already 6 points down. A good set here. Make sure they complete and start to find their way into this encounter. Good carry
Not bad
forward
carry.
there. And you look across the park, Troy, they are giving away a whole lot of size, aren't they?
Yeah, just about to say that, Corey. Yeah, they look like they're a leaner team. They've got this. Oh, yeah, don't hurt them. They look like they're a leaner team, but they might have a wee bit of speed and fitness on their side, because they're definitely playing a bigger pack from the Manurewa side. So they want to shift around, get a good kick.
It's a good set. That is a good set with their first use of the ball.
Not a
and
bad
it's
kick either.
Very good kick, but these short in goals, well, it's going to roll well dead in the end anyway.
Yeah, and the in goals are short, and that'll be something that they'll need to calculate for.
It was interesting in the Farrelly Photos Women's Premiership Grand Final a couple of weeks ago, Troy. We actually saw the teams tending to run the ball a lot on the last and just take the kick out of it. So not a bad tactic if, I guess, you're not confident in your short kicking game and don't want to be giving away those 7 tackle sets.
Big unit starting to line up again. Oh no, swap plate. Little offload.
Second phase there, and Lamb now fights in the play of the ball. Been active early on.
It's a big half for Manurewa, isn't he?
Shifts play on and tackled just on halfway. Midfield they come via Pihama. Represents counties Māori and Tonga in the past at age group level. We'll run around now. Foketi joins in and just about gives up a decoy. And it will.
Is that a shepherd?
That is a shepherd.
Yep.
And he just ran behind his runner there, and it's always bad news when that happens. You see, he sort of gave himself up, but referee Mitchell says penalty either way.
So first penalty of the day, and Glenora, well, not the biggest meter eating of kicks. We'll get the ball shift to the left-hand edge.
Back underway we go. Down the left now, they fire up, and that's Latu carrying forward.
Yeah, we're looking for a quick play of the balls, Glenora side.
Takare Nielsen.
Jumped on him from dummy half.
Slammed to ground. Aseta manages to get the ball at the back, and now they go down the right edge. Glenora shuffle across to... Looking for a gap there, but nothing developing. Now they'll work it forward again. A big carry from Latu. Looks their most damaging forward so far. Switch the direction now. Kick has put him behind, but it's a poor one. And that'll go safely dead.
Get the feeling Glenora Bears really have to contain the Marlin side down here. And there's another penalty.
Yeah, that won't help. Piggyback out of their own end here. Manurewa.
Yeah, Manurewa got some big size, haven't they, across the park. The half looks like a second row, and that kick's not chewing off much meterage either.
Found the sideline though, which is half the battle for a lot of the teams in this age group. Just making sure that you get the ball out and actually maintain possession off the penalty. See a false start here. And
oh, that's crazy.
must have called a forward pass here. We do apologise. We're not picking up the referee audio, but looks like that will have been a forward pass.
Who's feeding?
Glenora feed.
Glenora feed. Don't know, Corey. I can't tell you, mate. Yeah, my initial thought was he took the tap from the wrong part of the field.
Yeah, you could be right. It's certainly hard to tell from the gesture. But anyway, all that matters is that Glenora have the ball. And they are now 30 metres out from the line. That's a very slow play, the ball. And Manurewa perhaps lucky to get away with that one. Conceding a penalty, a little turn back onto the inside. And I tell you what, Lamb has fair cleaned someone up in back play there. And we've got a touchy on the field. This will be a penalty. Time off. But up out of the line, Dominic Lamb has not missed here. And he's cleaned them up in back play. The player is up on his feet, thankfully.
So a little bit of a chat going to take place now.
Yep, and we'll have to do our best lip reading here. Trying to figure out what's happened here, but I think we can well imagine what the chat is. Cut it out and just watch those tackles because that one was late. So the penalty now, Glenora's here, and this will right on the 30. So a fresh set of 6 coming up for the Bears. Back into it we go. Glenora looking to hit back after going down early. Just the second set of the game. And they come back through the middle of the park, and there's a bumping carry forward, but equally good defensive effort from Manurewa. Put him down on his back. That's the 17, Andreas Mariner. Back infield they come, and it's another good carry from Latu. Their best forward so far.
Absolutely, he's putting in some big minutes, isn't he?
And that little extra effort as well. That's classy stuff there. Earns the penalty for his team. A little extra effort on the ground, just fighting to get up, and draws the penalty from referee Mitchell right in front of the post. This will be a tap and go. Looks like Latu's going to be the man to do it as well. Look out, Manurewa. Here he goes now, big Latu. He's there. Kalis Latu scores right under the posts, and we should have a tied ball game in a minute.
Well, that young Latu deserves an action replay, Corey. Here's one we created earlier.
Well, you knew it was coming. Look at that. You can see the big fella's eyes lighting up there. The tap and the go. And despite the presence of 3 defenders in the end, no match for Latu, who powers over. And the Latu family out in force by the sounds of it. That one getting a big cheer from the crowd here at Mount Smart number 2.
So I dare say the Manurewa trainer will be down there. They've given away 3 penalties and that, and 2 of those were back-to-back, and the tries come off for Bears as he strikes the ball, and the flags are up.
So Ratama guides the ball over, and we are locked up here after 11.5 minutes.
Don't know if we missed that. Might be an interchange happened for the Bears side.
Back into it we go, and just slipped just before the contact there. "25-minute halves in this game, if you were wondering. Latu centralises, and they are 5 short of halfway. Iseta jumps into dummy half. Wide they come now, Glenora. This is good work from the Bears, although the ball's come loose now. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Strip.
Okay, this is putting the Marlins under all sorts of pressure. You know, it was all them in the opening stanza, and you know, we've got a few penalties starting to rack up here for the use of the Bears as they start to chew off a few more metres down the Marlins territory way. Speaking of Marlins, here's one swimming down the track now. Here we go, quick tap into the line.
"20 metres out. Glenora will go down the right edge. Now all of a sudden
The Bears got their tails up.
Yeah, and it's Manurewa's line speed that now is struggling a little bit to keep up with the pace of this game, the physicality of it. Glenora throwing plenty at them. And it is different. There's lots of changes of angle in this Glenora side, using that speed advantage as they go short at the line and juggled and brought it in, although that's going to be called a knock-on. So handover 5 metres off the line. Manurewa with some work to do now to get out of their own end and start to build some pressure again.
Yeah, I think a couple of their bookends come off, or maybe one did for the Glenora Bears.
So Foketi to feed the scrum, set right on the 10, and they're heavy out to the left here, Manurewa. I don't imagine there'll be anything too creative, and indeed it is a one-off carry from Moranga. Good defence from Glenora. Slam him to the ground. It's a big weekend for the Bears, Troy. They received the Rukatai Shield yesterday, and a Kiwi legend in attendance to hand it over as well.
Kevin Tamati. Yeah, mate.
Also in the crowd at Felds Park, Logan Swan, Joe Vangana, a couple of other New Zealand internationals, former New Zealand internationals. Both played for the Warriors as well. So great to see former legends out and about at local footy. Well done to the Glenora Bears. 1 loss all year. That is a heck of a effort from the Bears, and they head into the finals as favourites to defend their SAS Fox Memorial Premiership title now, and the ball's put down. And it was Hilde who dropped it, and then he sort of just left it. And at the end of all this, looks like we'll have a Manurewa feed. In fact, it's going to be a penalty to the Marlins. No, it will be a scrum. We do apologise for trying to decipher some of the calls today. We don't have the referee audio coming through at this stage. And, we are a fair way back from the action here at Mount Smart number 2. So scrum to pack down.
He's looking for the halfback. Can somebody come and be the halfback? Anybody will do.
Just a bit careful here because they have created a huge gap there with the makeshift halfback coming in, but as it turns out, they've gone the opposite way. So Manurewa now, 10 out from the line, and they will work it forward. Still carrying. And this should be Manurewa's second try, it will be. And it is Petelo Lemeki who goes over for Rewa's second. Let's take a look on instant replay.
They made that all look too easy, didn't they, really?
See here, he lines it up. Lemeki takes him to the first one. And, really didn't get a body in front of him, did they? And one on either side. He'll gladly carry them over the line. And Lemeki gives his side the lead once again. Kick to come. So it is Rewa who lead 10-6. Conversion pending. Conversion sneaks in. So the Marlins, they lead 12 points to 6 as we enter the final 6 minutes or so of the first half here at Mount Smart number 2. We go. There's a long one. This is going to find touch. So that's a great result for Glenora. Another nightmare for Manurewa after points. So Glenora, they'll get an instant chance to hit back here. So drop out to come. A long one, and that'll go 40 on the fly, and then by the time it bounces up, it's 45, and the look up, and the chase is pretty good as well from Manurewa, and taking it forward is Matangi. On the right they come, centralised via the lock forward, Takarai Nielsen. And put down there, and well, it was a long pass from dummy half, and probably a little bit low there, and in the end, Ratama, I think it is, puts it down.
Welcome aboard if you've just joined us. The ARL Live Stream TV brought to you by Ctas, our live stream partners, courtesy of the Auckland Rugby League. And a lot of live stream happening next week as well, Corey. got the big Fox match back here at Mount Smart number 2, and looking forward to that weekend.
Yeah, big few weeks coming up really for us, and Glenora up against Point Chevalier in the Fox. That'll be a second chance semi-final, I guess you'd call it. The winner will go directly through to the grand final. The loser will survive to play the winner of Howick and Northcote. That'll be a sudden death match. So interesting times. And, I'm really looking forward to that Glenora Point Chevalier match, Troy. We've streamed them twice already this year. The first one a 1-point victory for Point Chevalier. The second time a comfortable victory for the Glenora Bears.
Big thank you to all the volunteers on today as well. Young Caitlin's just brought up the team list for our next match. And without our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do half the stuff we do, Corey.
Absolutely. And from the referees through to the match managers today and the people behind the scenes, thank you for your efforts. Now as the ball spills loose and Glenora pick it up. And there's a really good carry forward, and he's eventually dicked down 45 out from the line, just over halfway now. Manurewa up quickly. That's good line speed from the Marlins, and leading the charge was Pihama. Didn't go far on that one, Glenora. Now off the back fence, they run it forward. Fighting there, but getting there in numbers, Manurewa, and working together nicely as a pack. And they swing it out the back. They straighten right on half-time. That'll do us. So it is the Manurewa Marlins who lead 12 points to 6 over the Glenora Bears at half-time. We're going to take a very short break before we return with the second half.